Hello, Taurus. This is your, in this segment, excuse me, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot this one's done by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. The support cards are the Romance Angel cards by Dorothy. Nope, Doreen Virtue. Wow, man. Okay. I'm tripping on my tongue. As usual, I've already, okay. Alright, now that's interesting. What is going on here? So, I feel like you're communicating, and you're saying how you feel. This is to deal with family life. Now, there's something interesting here because there's a conflict, but I'm not exactly sure yet how the conflict is working out for you. So let's start here in the beginning. In the beginning, like this is... I'm not 100% sure if this is a love relationship because I'm starting to think it is because you're starting with the Two of Cups. Granted, this is a general read. So this is an important relationship either way. This is a little different than the Lover's card in the sense of a general read, because this is where you're both kind of working this out. You're both communicating. You're both interested in making this a good situation. You're both interested in moving this situation forward. Okay, that's what it is. And the Judgment card is right under it, which makes me feel like the situation, there's something here that needs to come to the surface. There's something here that you don't like, and you feel like it needs to be addressed, because if you don't, it's just going to linger longer and longer, and it's just going to destroy the foundation of the situation. No, I'm getting that's not right. Okay, what are we saying here? You're trying to build a better foundation. You're communicating to get this going in the right direction, to move it, or veer it a little better, to get the trajectory a little more on course. I'm trying to set the course. Okay, set the course. But you have the Queen of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles, which makes me feel like you might be a little to the point. You're kind of coming at this like something needs to be said, and I'm going to say it. Okay. Now, as this goes forward, I feel like the other person wants to do stuff a certain way, because there's the communications on their side as well. They have the King of Swords, and they also have religious factors, which when I see this card pop in, a lot of times, especially in general reads, this kind of feels like fundamental differences that you're not willing to budge on. Either of you are. It doesn't actually have to mean religious, but it means something. It's a baseline that means a lot to you that you're not willing to really budge on, and the other person has contradictory feelings and thoughts to you, but also they're not really willing to budge either because they feel like they're right as well. So this is causing a conflict. This is where the conflict is coming in. You feel one way, they feel another. You're feeling it needs to move a different direction. They're kind of pushing back. And I feel like you're kind of negotiating, but I don't feel like it's working out. You guys are kind of like, not much is changing, and it's kind of causing a bit of a burden to the situation. So at the beginning, you're trying to communicate, you're trying to get things to change, but the other side's not really, they're not feeling it needs to be changed, they're just feeling that it needs to continue the way it is, or it needs to go a different direction than what you want. Okay. Now, the next part's very interesting because we got the King of Cups. So, it's like the love of the situation, the caring about each other overrides everything. So you're moving forward successfully in that sense. Like I feel like you're honoring each other's feelings, even though you have different feelings about where they should go, where things should go. You kind of you're acknowledging that the other cares. So it's not like it's a spiteful situation where you're not matching on thoughts, but you're acknowledging, all right, we care about each other, but this isn't really going the direction we want it to. So the love is there, and I feel like you're both acknowledging that. Now this next part is where it gets a little funny. I feel like the other side kind of pushes forth what they want, and they also start it going in that direction. I feel like this is a false start. The Ace of Rods, it could be a good beginning. It could work out. I feel like the other side is pushing forth their view, and they're not budging, and they're pushing forth the creation, moving this forward. But something has to end for that to begin. But I feel like in this situation, it begins before it ends. So you got the Ace of Rods. Things are starting. Things are going right off here. But I almost feel like something's out of order. This is whatever it is that the two of you are considering or talking about. I feel like the part that you're worried about is things happening out of order. But they're like, nope, things have to happen in a certain way, or else they're not going to work. So they get you on board to get this starting, to get this going, whatever the situation is. But for that to start, I feel like something else kind of falls through. And that's what this is talking about, the Ten of Swords. So it kind of falls through. Something falls through that's related. I don't think this situation goes forward, but something else falls through because of it. And I feel like that's what you were saying in the beginning, and this might be what you were complaining about or trying to get to change. But the other side was like, no, it's supposed to happen that way. And you were like, no, I don't really like the way that's going to happen. But they're like, nope, this is how it has to happen if we want this to work out. And they pushed it forward, and it happened. So they got you to go along with it. I almost feel like it's letting a loan fall through or something like that. Something falls through. But it's based on this new start. Like you go in a new direction. Something falls through. Alright. The interesting part about this is I don't feel like, even though this is a hit rock bottom card, clearly, this is I don't know, this for some reason on your side you're not upset about it. And you were like, this was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. You're like, I knew that was going to happen. You get the World and the Hierophant in your mental state for when this happens. In other words, I feel like you're kind of like, well, that was going to happen. And that kind of finishes off that situation. It's like winning by losing. Something here you lose or falls through, but you're okay with it, and you're just like, I knew it was going to happen, and that's the best ending that could have happened for the situation. It had to end. So it's weird. I know it's a general read, but it's going in a few different directions. Something is ending. But the other side, they're feeling it's just desserts too. That's how it should have happened. This is a very curious reading. That one card makes me wonder. Because you're both okay with this. Whatever fell through, you're both very okay with it. You're feeling it when this card comes out, this could be the one with let your friends help you. I feel like you're both like on the same page, like that was supposed to happen. I don't feel like you agreed with how it happened, but you're both in agreement that that needed to happen, and other people around you seem to be in agreement as well. So what is this that falls through, I wonder? And why would you be okay with that? That is definitely what I'm getting for this, though, that something falls through, and the end result is something falls through, and you're okay with that. There's a new start first, you start something new, and then this other side falls through, but you're okay with that. I just feel in the beginning you're not happy, like you're not happy about how it's going to happen. The fact that it's going to happen seems inevitable, but how it happens, you're not really happy with. So there's like an ending here. You have a beginning and then you have an ending right after it. The ending seems like it's a little bit devastating, but you're okay with it. In other words, it was going to happen either way. There was stress about it. How to handle it, going towards it, was like, I feel like you didn't really want to start something new until that ending happened. But the other person convinced you, start it now. We need to start it now. There's no reason to wait. Start it now, and then that's inevitably going to end anyway, but we need this going first before that does end. And then that ending happened. And it's like you knew that was going to happen, and you're kind of like, well, at least it's over. I knew it was going to happen. I don't feel like it's really like you knew it was going to happen. And it's almost like, well, this is the best way that could have happened. All right, that's fine. I'm still not agreeing that this was the best way to do it, but for some reason you feel like the end result was the best way because everything's already in line and starting. You just didn't like things happening out of order, but the fact that they're already started and moving forward, it kind of makes it better. This is so curious to me because I'm really getting like it's an ending card in this situation, and it's not really the best ending, but it had to happen. And the other side seems to be like you're both on the same page in the sense of like it was going to happen. I just don't feel like you're on the same page about how it happened. Or, yeah, the how. The other side might have to like pick up the pieces a little bit because of it. I feel like the other side might have to like do a little house cleaning in a sense, based on how it ended. You, on the other hand, I feel like you might not have to do that as much. You might help them clean it up a little bit. I also feel like there's an I told you so type situation going on here. Okay. Alright, so the way this is, there's someone very close to you that you're working with. You're both like in agreement that this has to be, you both have to take care of it, like you're both involved. So you both agree that way. Just realized I didn't shave today. And when you start handling this situation, you're at different sides of how to handle it. You're not really wanting to listen to the other. You want the other to do it the way you want to do it. And it's like it's becoming like a stalemate. So that's how we come into it. You try to work it out, but I feel like it just becomes burdensome because neither of you want to move. At some point, right after this like confrontation, like I almost feel like it might become like a bit of an argument. You kind of come back together. You just rather get along. So you kind of get along with it, but they kind of like, they convince you, this is going to be the better way. Just do it my way, and then I'm telling you, it's going to work out. Just do it my way. So I feel like they convince you, they appeal to your sense of order. I don't know how they do that because it seems like it goes out of order to you, but somehow they appeal to your sense. They have some appealing quality about the situation. They're like, we need to do it now, and this is why. So they just start moving things forward, and you just kind of get on board with it, and you go along with it. You don't really want to. I feel like you're like, this is out of order, but you do it. You start it, and the situation starts. But another piece falls through. But I feel like you're more than aware that it was going to happen like that, and you're like, well, at least we're moving on from it. It was going to happen, at least we're moving on. I don't feel like it's devastating you. And you're like, I knew this was going to happen this way. Let's just keep going. I mean, I want this to keep going, so let's keep going. This is very curious to me because of the Ten of Swords there. Something is definitely ending, but but it doesn't feel like it's a good ending. It's almost like a loan falling through or something. And the other side, they might have to pick up the pieces a little bit, do a little house cleaning. I feel like you might help them with that. But you're like, well, that was going to happen. And like, I don't feel like they're shocked that they have to do the little house cleaning that they have to do. But it definitely, like, justice comes back on their side. They take care of it and they keep moving forward. That's interesting. Let me know if you'd like to what that was, because I'm curious. Because it seems like something starts. This seems like a devastating ending, but neither of you are shocked about it, and neither of you are kind of like distraught about it. Well, you're not like devastated, but you knew it was going to happen. I don't even know if I want to say that. You're moving forward. You saw it coming, and it happened, and you keep moving forward. But I feel like the ending or the new beginning starting before this was finished is not ideal for you, but it's what happened. And the other person pushed it forward that way, and you're continuing on after that. And it might go even better after that. So it's interesting. Let me know. I'll get this up with everything else, of course. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.